August 12th, 2016. Guys, we've been watching this storm for a few days along the Gulf of Mexico, and now Greensburg, Louisiana has been cut off from the rest of the state because of rising floodwaters. They got 15 inches overnight, and this thing is far from over with, guys. If Texas is going to catch some of this, it's going to hang where it's at least until early next week, and then it's going to move north and northeast. The threat of flash flooding and eventual river flooding will become more widespread from Texas and Louisiana to the Ohio Valley and parts of the Great Lakes in the coming days. This thing could be more devastating than a very high-power hurricane because of what we're seeing. Parts of Baton Rouge, I-10 have closed, major interstates. And when we get through looking at this radar, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. But, guys, pay attention. I know I'm from this area, but you think that it may be over, and it may just be getting started. I know there's some people that are walking around with water in their homes right now, but this thing could get worse. Look at the radar from yesterday afternoon coming into this morning. It just expands rapidly, and that center red dot is where the 15 inches of rain have come down so far. But, guys, it is nowhere near being over with. You got from the west, you've got a front moving in, and from the east coming in off the Atlantic, and it's kind of got this thing stalled right in the center, right here. And the area where you see the largest concentrations of that deep red, they're in trouble. It's already a state of emergency, been declared by the governor there. And watching the overnight water vapor loop from NOAA, how quickly this thing expands, and what has happened is the strength of a tropical system like this comes from warm water. Once it gets over land, it can still do damage, but it will start to dissipate. But this storm is setting there, and it's been doing this all week from Florida now into Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi, just pumping rain in. My concern is, and they're already having record, and they're calling it legacy rainfalls in this area. And we're maybe halfway through, maybe not even halfway. But we saw the spin in the video yesterday coming over Mississippi. You saw the flooding rains in Hattiesburg. Now, all that's kind of drifted south as we back out and look at this particular radar. But as the storm was overnight, it reached, again, back into the Gulf and started pulling more energy out. And in this last frame, and I'll stop it, there's a tremendous amount of water coming in. And, guys, this thing is huge. Look at the size of it. It's as big as Texas almost. And those white clouds that you see in the center are supercells. And that's going to pull, again, up into Alabama, Florida, Mississippi. But Louisiana, you're going to get the brunt of this. But the rains are not over. Then they're saying this is going to squeeze play and move northeast. Now, watch these frames. You see what I'm talking about. See that area? That's the high supercells right now. And that's going to come over the Mississippi River right up into the New Orleans area. And, you know, they're below sea level there. If you remember Katrina, the problems we had. But, again, overnight, rapid expansion. Watch what happens here. That white high section reaches back out over the Gulf. I'm going to go back forward. Watch what happens. It's almost like a living creature, these tropical systems. But just as you thought that rains were going to start to die off, check this out, right back over that warm Gulf water. It starts immediately to explode once it reaches 1 foot into that hot water. And remember the video from Alabama a couple of days ago? Water was 6-8 degrees warmer than the air. Now, check this out. It expands right back out over the Gulf. Starts all the feeder bands pulling back in. Guys, this could be way above record setting. It could be catastrophic. It could cause more damage than some of the major hurricanes. Many cities and towns there are in trouble. But we're watching a lot of different things, guys. This thing has me concerned about the people in Louisiana, South Mississippi, and Texas. You better be careful, Galveston, in that part of the state. Watch this thing. Keep an eye on your weather. There's a lot of people that travel I-10 from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they may be just listening to a DVD or something and have no idea what they're getting into. If you know somebody traveling through there, make sure they're aware again, 10, the major interstate from east to west. Some lanes are closed in Baton Rouge. It's going to be a traffic nightmare. And remember, what do they say? Turn around, don't drown. But what sticks in my head is some of the pictures where you're seeing people knee-deep in their homes and wading through the yards trying to get help. Electricity's out, things like that. And the worst may not be there yet. It's a heads up. Be safe.